Chapter 105 to 109. So I'm just sitting there on the couch in my house, staring idly at the ceiling, doing absolutely nothing. Rimuru UAAAA. Malim is sitting on the floor a few meters away from me, mashing a console controller while staring intently at the large TV screen in front of her. Button mashing sounds. Asterisk pew. Boom. Zap. Other generic game noises, asterisk. Roblox death sound. Malim Jaya. I was so close too. Why did that dumb monster have to appear there, Nanota? I watch as Malim rages at the TV while throwing the controller into the wall. Not at the wall, into the wall. Like, it's literally embedded into the wall now. She's been living here for quite a while now, freeloading and just destroying shit or enjoying herself to the fullest, most of the time destroying shit while enjoying it. Not once has she ever thought to return to her own home. And to be honest, it's been a total blast for me too. Not just me, Mikoto and Ilya also really enjoy her company. Yes, she's a handful now and again, and again, and again. Cough. But everyone loves her. The Kijin, the regular citizens, the hobgoblins, everyone. Although Rigard always has this strained face when he gets the several pages long list of things he has to replace because of Malim. Meh, I'm sure it's nothing. In any case, should I rescue her pet dragon? Although I've thought about it before in passing, it wasn't anything serious. But I'm free right now, and... Rimuru, hey Malim. Malim, Malim looks over her shoulder at me, her anger completely dissipated. I might get punched in the face for this, but here goes. Rimuru, you wanna revive your pet drag, dash. I didn't even get to finish before I invoke Spatial Ruler, turning myself intangible as the spare controller sitting to the side phases through my head and gets embedded into the wall behind me. I mean, I knew this was a sensitive topic, but god damn. Rimuru, wait. Let me talk. Hear me out. I wave my hands in front of me, trying to pacify a Malim that is staring at me with cold eyes. Rimuru, you know that I know some weird things, and I just so happen to know about a certain dragon, whoa. I dodge to the side as a game console comes flying at me. Deciding I should just cut to the chase before my house gets flattened, I straight out say what's on my mind. Rimuru, I know how to save it. Malim's eyes widen as she slowly lowers the TV that was raised over her head. She doesn't say anything and just stares at me with serious eyes. Taking this as permitting me to talk, I continue. Rimuru, you already tried to revive it once, and technically, you succeeded. So in a way, I wouldn't be reviving it. The dragon went crazy because its astral body was damaged during its revival. I can fix that. I deliberately choose to leave out the information that Malim was a contributor to the dragon's insanity. Due to its damaged astral and spiritual body, Malim's malice seeped into its soul, causing it to become this mindless monster. A chaos dragon. I'm not sure if Malim is aware of this information, but I don't think she is since she doesn't specialize in the soul, unlike Ilya. And Ilya is a monist derived from the third magic, Heaven's Feel, which specializes in the soul. Although Malim did live for a long time, so she might have found out during those years, but I still decide not to say anything. In this case, by proxy, interfering with the astral and spiritual body is a matter of course for Ilya, since they are also related to the soul. That's why she was able to easily fiddle with Phobio's memories since, in this world, memories are written on the spiritual body. Anyway, Malim drops the TV on the floor, it broke, runs up to me, and grabs my hands, bringing them up to her chest. Malim, really? Her eyes are sparkling with excitement and hope. Without even hearing my answer, she begins dragging me out of the house. Malim, then let's go, Nanota. Rimuru, wait. Hold on a moment. I feel like I'm saying wait a lot today. Malim looks over her shoulder with curiosity and impatience. Malim, what now? Hurry. We need to save my friend Nanota. She begins waving her hands around in a small tantrum. Rimuru, well, I don't even know where to find it, and I'm not confident at healing your dragon's soul myself. Malim, didn't you say you could fix him? Malim's eyes begin to moisten as I feel like she would burst into tears any moment. Malim sniff. Goddamn, she's cute. Wait, not the time. Rimuru, well, I need Ilya's help for this. She's the expert on souls. Malim, then let's go. And so, 5 minutes later, I find myself in front of Ilya. I am covered in dust and debris due to the path Malim took to get here, which went through several buildings. Oh well, not my problem. Clone Rimuru asterisk in the distance asterisk fuck you Rimuru. How the fuck Melim doesn't even have a speck of dust on her clothes is beyond me, but I digress. Mikoto is outside of Avalon, having her occasional stroll/massacre in the forest, and Ilia what was she doing? I look at Ilia to see her with her cheeks stuffed with food and both of her hands are full with even more food. She freezes and stops chewing while staring at me with wide eyes. So cute. Shizu, who for some reason was also with Ilia, is running away. Ilia turns to Shizu and shouts after swallowing. Ilia, traitor. Was she using her cute looks to get free food from people? I mean, Shizu does that all the time. I'll ignore this. Ilia turns back to me and hides the food behind her back. Ilia, what is it, Oniai-chan? I just stare at her with blank eyes before I sigh and point to Melim with my thumb, who is standing to my left, looking at the food poking out from behind Ilia's back with an intense stare. What happened to saving her friend? Rimuru, we're gonna get her pet dragon. Melim, he's not my pet. He's my friend. Melim says, while now even bothering to move her eyes from the food. Rimuru, right, sorry. Ilia's expression turns serious before she nods her head. Ilia, so, are we going to teleport there? Rimuru, unfortunately, I don't know the exact coordinates of its seal, so we have to go there manually. I state with a shrug. Ranga, oh. This is where I come in. Ranga's excited voice reaches my mind from my shadow where he rests for most of the day. Melim, I can just teleport us though. Melim plainly states. Sad Ranga noises. An hour or so later, I am solemnly looking into the distance with my arms crossed in front of my chest. The wind is blowing at a decent speed, causing my clothes and hair to flutter wildly, but due to anime laws, my hair doesn't get into my face. I look sick as fuck. I'm staring at a certain cluster of mountains several hundred kilometers away. The mountains have a rather menacing vibe. Dark clouds have gathered in the skies around it. Click 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 click. Melim is taking pictures of it for some reason, and Ilia is wiping her bloody nose as she looks at me with a flushed face. Both of them are already transformed into their combat attire, with Melim in her Demon Lord outfit and Ilia in her magical girl costume. As for our location, we are standing at the edge of another random cliff. These random cliffs are the best when it comes to looking at things from afar. It's amazing how often these random cliffs appear in just the right place. In any case, Mikoto couldn't come with us. She came back from her stroll/massacre through the forest, but she immediately ran away with Shuna for something, so, yeah, it's just Ilia, Melim and myself. Oh, and Ranga is also still in my shadow, but he's sulking. Rimuru, right, so here's what's going to happen. Melim, I need you to unseal the dragon. It's pretty much guaranteed to rampage, so I'll be the one to hold it back while Ilia works on recovering its soul. Yes, the dragon is sealed. Melim sealed it because it wants nothing but chaos and destruction, hence its name, Chaos Dragon. Melim, who couldn't bear to kill her friend, sealed it away, and it's been like that until today. Melim rejected. For some reason, I expected this. Rimuru, before you say anything, Melim, you have to realize that I am the best person for the job. Melim, but still. He's my friend Nanoda. I have to be the one to fight him. But I wasn't planning on fighting him though. Well, I do understand where she's coming from. She's already accepting so much help from me, although Ilia will be the one doing everything, so if she just sits back and does nothing. Yeah, it'll leave a bad taste in both of our mouths. I was planning on using Spatial Ruler to lock the space around it to hold it in place so Ilia can work peacefully, but... Rimuru. Fine. I could tell by looking into Melim's eyes. Although you can persuade Melim from doing many things, she won't back down from this. Rimuru then change of plans. Melim, you unseal the dragon and hold it down. Ilia will work on restoring its soul, and I'll... Fuck, what do I do now? Melim took my job. Ilia, Oniai-chan, we need to make sure whatever happens doesn't affect the outside world. Nice one, Ilia. Rimuru, right, so I'll shift us all into the mirror dimension. A perfect plan. Rimuru, oh, right, before I forget. Ahura Mazda, Lord of Creation. I invoke my ultimate skill to create an object. What is this object? Not telling, it's a surprise tool that will help us later. I'm joking. What appears above my outstretched hand is a chain. The chain is only a meter or so long, shaded in a dull metal color but glowing with a golden light. One of the ends is connected to something akin to a metal dart, while the other resembles a handle. All in all, it looks like a chain whip. Rimuru Enkidu, the chains of heaven. I speak out its name with an excited smile on my face. I mean, I can't help myself, my inner weeb is dancing in joy right now. Inscribed on the solid metal pieces at the ends are runes. They glow slightly before the chain begins to move. It slowly floats towards Malim before gently snaking around her wrists. The runes glow once more before dying down. Malim glances at the chains with curiosity before looking back up at me with an inquisitive gaze. Rimuru, those chains are named after a certain artifact with the same name and hold a similar effect. The one you're holding now is specifically made to bind higher existences like demon lords and heroes. Your friend can be considered a pseudo-true dragon, so these chains would help. The original Enkidu would grow stronger the more divinity the target has. But, since gods don't exist, in this world, at least, those chains would have been useless. Instead, I created these chains to be a bit different. They are a replica, but much more suitable to this world. Malim holds the chains up in front of her. She solemnly looks at it, before looking up at me and opening her mouth. Malim, isn't this too small, Minota? My lips twitch. That's all she has to say about these chains that could potentially become an anti-Malim weapon? Rimuru, they're enchanted to extend infinitely and break through the fabrics of space for better positioning. That way, whenever it breaks through space, it'll look like it's jumping in and out of the gate of Babylon. Rimuru, hee. Ilya, Oniai-chan, you're making a gross face right now. Oops, we should get started. Rimuru, Malim, if you would. Malim grips the chains wrapped around her wrist as she steps forward with a small smile on her face. Malim, hiya. She shouts out as she gathers her magicules into a blue energy ball before throwing it towards the ominous mountains in the distance. The ball is rather small, so it quickly disappears, but the magicules contained within make it easy to track with universal sense. Seconds after Malim throws it, a dark crack nearly 100 meters long opens in the sky above the mountains like a gash. You can't see through the crack as it's covered in a veil of pure darkness. Malice and hatred overflow from the crack and pour onto the ground. The plants and wildlife that were already scarce in the area shrivel up and die. Deciding that it's my turn to step in, I stretch out my hand in front of me. Rimuru Owari, it's over. Snap. I snap my fingers. A wave passes over Ilya, Malim, myself and the giant fucking dragon Wei in the distance, dragging all of us into the mirror dimension. Fuck, what do I do now? I'm pretty useless right now. Is this what Sakura from Naruto feels like? Malim, completely disregarding my plight, pushes off the ground and rockets towards the giant menacing dragon in the distance, cracking the ground in the process. Ilya just pats my shoulder before following Malim. I guess just sitting back and watching is fine too. Malim rockets towards the Chaos Dragon several hundred kilometers away, breaking the sound barrier more than once. She quickly arrived in front of it, completely dwarfed by the dragon's massive size. The Chaos Dragon has pitch black scales, shrouded in its malicious aura, making it seem like it's covered in a veil of black smoke. It also has red lines running over its body like cracks, in which even more malice and hatred seeps out. It's like a Berserker Lancelot-themed dragon, honestly looks dope. It's easily over a few hundred meters long, bigger than Charybdis. It's quite a bit stronger than Charybdis, too, but that's no problem for Malim. In a one-on-one fight, Malim can easily beat the Chaos Dragon if she used her full strength. Even without going into her actual battle mode, she can hold it off. However, to make things easier on Ilya, I decided to give her Enkidu to hold it down. Without waiting for even a second, she draws the arm Enkidus wrapped around over her head before throwing it forward at the dragon that is still drowsy from being unsealed. Malim, go. The chain wrapped around her wrist glow in a soft golden light before they extend at rapid speed, instantly becoming almost 100 meters long. Sensing something wrong, the Chaos Dragon then releases its aura in full blast. Magicules in the area begins flowing towards the dragon, causing it to greedily absorb it and grow in size. Although the growth was only by a few meters, it isn't stopping anytime soon. But that's not the problem. The problem is what happened after. Spears of rock break up from the ground around the Chaos Dragon. Ting. It intercepts the incoming chain and blocks it, causing it to harmlessly rebound off. Rimuru, eh? Malim, eh? Ilya, eh? The fuck? It could do that? The chain retracts as the Chaos Dragon spreads its wings and flaps it towards the ground, causing a large cloud of dust to lift around it. Its entire body lifts off the ground and it begins to fly towards the sky. Melim gathers magicules into her palm, forming another, concentrated ball of magicules. She raises her palm at the dragon before the magicule bolt shoots off. Melim Draco Impact. Midair, the bolt splits into tens of smaller magicule bolts. The bolts all change directions like they have a mind of their own, circling around the Chaos Dragon before hitting it on its back. Boom, 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 boom. The bolts explode and the dragon arcs its back from the impact before crashing into the ground. Looking closely, you can see that the dragon isn't damaged. Melim knows this as she doesn't want to hurt her old friend. She just wanted it on the ground. Trying again, she whips the Enkidu towards the Chaos Dragon again. The chain expands with a faint golden glow once more. Chaos Dragon Roa Air. The dragon raises its head, roars with deep enmity towards the small figure in the air before even more sharp rocks, the size of buildings, breaks out from the ground towards the incoming golden chain. It knows. It can feel it. That chain is bad news. So far, it's exactly the same situation as before. This time, however, Melim smirks. A golden rippling portal appears in front of the chain and it disappears into it. The dragon seems slightly confused at first, but it immediately disregards it and roars towards Melim again, its intelligence too low to think about what happened. The Chaos Dragon raises its arm, its claws leaving traces of visible malice and hate behind. It brings its arm down, its target being Melim, attempting to slash the fly out of the air. However, another golden portal appears near its arm. The end of Enkidu that disappeared into the first portal comes flying out of the second and wraps around the dragon's arm twice before disappearing into another portal. Chaos Dragon San looks at his chained arm, looks at Melim, looks back at his chained arm, before snapping its head back to Melim and roaring. Chaos Dragon Roar. This roar was even louder as it raises its other arm to try and slash at Melim with its malice-ridden claws. What a dum-dum. Enkidu makes another reappearance from another portal near its other arm before wrapping around it twice and disappearing into yet another golden ripple. Chaos Dragon Roar. The dragon roars again as it struggles in its chains, thrashing around, attempting to break the thing that's preventing its movement. Melim puffs her chest out in pride as if she were the ones that made the chains. Melim Kukuku, unfortunately, my old friend, those chains were made by my other best friend. They won't ever break, Nanota. Wahahaha. Rimuru, no, I never said they won't break. I said those chains get stronger, depending on the target. Never mind. She can't hear me anyway. The chains begin to appear and disappear into many more portals, quickly increasing in speed as Melim begins to become better at controlling Enkidu. It wraps around its legs, twice around each of its ankles, and twice against its thighs. Next, it begins to wrap around its torso, popping in and out of golden portals multiple times, flying around its waist and shoulders before Melim was satisfied. Chaos Dragon Roar. The Chaos Dragon roars again as it causes many more building-sized earth spears to rise from the ground. Clang! The earth spears accurately hit several of the chains wrapping around its arms, legs and chest, but the most it does is strain the chain while causing some sparks. Why did they spark? Was there metal in those earth spears or something? Ilya, I'll take it from here, Melim. Ilya, who has been watching at the side for a while, finally decided to step forward. She pointed her magical girl stick at the rampaging Chaos Dragon. Ilya, forbidden. A pink-colored beam shoots from it directly into the dragon's chest. On contact, a small ripple spreads across its chest as the beam phases through it, connecting directly to its spirit. Or rather than a beam, it's more fit to call it a link or a tether. This is Ilya's way of establishing a connection with the rampaging dragon. She can heal its damaged soul. Ilya closes her eyes while holding her magic stick with both hands, floating midair. The Chaos Dragon begins to thrash and rampage even more, roaring with all its might. Melim's calm smile becomes slightly strained. Normally, you wouldn't notice it, but I've known her for a while now, so I can tell. Rimuru, don't worry, it's not in pain. I teleport behind Melim and reassure Melim of her worries. Melim doesn't react to my presence, but I know she heard my words. I continue speaking. Rimuru, I'm not entirely sure because I don't specialize in this stuff, but right now Ilya is working on salvaging and repairing what she can before moving its soul into a new body. In a way, this will cause the current Chaos Dragon to die, which is why it's going wild like that. Melim's hand that was unconsciously clutching Enkidu in her hand loosens its hold. The chains squeak lightly after being released from the massive pressure on them. I just wryly smile to myself. The Chaos Dragon, having enough of its current situation, begins to draw in even more magicules from the surroundings. Its size begins to grow at an even faster rate, squeezing against the chains. It knows the chains won't break from this. Instead, a highly compressed whirlpool of magicules gathers in its mouth. The energy is much higher than even Malim's Dragon Buster, but it has a longer charge time, so it's expected in a way. It's its Dragon Breath, a dragon's most iconic and powerful attack. It lifts its head, aiming directly at the floating magical girl, the one it currently feels the greatest threat from. Even now, it can feel its powers falling as the small white-haired figure continues to mess with its soul. The whirlpool of magicules grows, dyed in red and black due to the warped magicules soaked in malice. Seeing this, both Malim and I frown. But before Malim could do anything. Snap! I snap my fingers. Enkidu appears from another portal near its head, shooting out with even greater speed and wrapping around its neck 3 times before disappearing again. It then appears one last time next to its head, wrapping around its mouth once, clamping it shut and disabling its dragon breath. Malim, eh? You could control the chains? Rimuru, of course I can, I made them after all. It's linked to both you and me, both of us can control it easily. Malim looks at the chains in her hands with a disappointed expression. I can guarantee she wanted to use those chains to mess around Avalon, thinking no one can stop her. On habit, I raise my hand, wanting to pat Malim's head, but Ilia's eyes snap open and stare at me, causing a chill to run down my spine. I lower my hand back down. Ilia nods her head and goes back to doing whatever the fuck she's doing. Scary. Ilia is floating midair with her magical girl wand pointed at the giant rampaging dragon with a pink glowing rope connecting them. It's a little surreal at this point. The rampaging chaos dragon is chained up in glowing golden chains, connected through many portals leading back to Malim, with the end of Enkidu wrapped around her wrist. It's been like this for around 10 seconds. The chaos dragon's rampaging tendencies have quickly died down within those 10 seconds, and now it's barely moving. The fog of malice and hate shrouding its body has mostly disappeared at this point, and you can easily sense that it has weakened a lot. Ilia, hop. Finally, Ilia opens her eyes and tugs her magic stick backwards sharply with a shout. The pink tether snaps taut before it pulled something out of the dragon's chest with it. Attached to the end of Ilia's tether is a softly glowing ball of white light. Neither Malim nor I were experts on the subject, but we could instantly tell what that orb is. A soul. Specifically, it's the soul of the dragon. Ilia fucking went fishing for a soul. What a mad lad. The Chaos Dragon breathes out one final time as the anger and hate in its eyes fade away along with its light of life. Crack, crumble. The now deceased Chaos Dragon's body begins to crack. Enkidu, which was pulled tight around its limbs, chest and head, begin to loosen. The body crumbles like chalk as gravity pulls it down. Its arms fall away and its legs couldn't handle the weight of its torso, collapsing under its weight. The torso hits the ground, shattering from the impact into several pieces. In the end, all that was left is just a pile of unrecognizable black ash, dust and rocks. The mound begins to smoke, slowly dissipating into magicules. The parts of Enkidu wrapped around the Chaos Dragon dissipate into golden motes of light, and all that's left of it is the meter or so left wrapped around Malim's wrist. Though, Malim never noticed any of this. As soon as Ilia pulled out the Chaos Dragon's soul, Malim tunnel-visioned on the glowing orb and shot right towards it. Ilia holds her hands in front of her, both her magical girl stick and the tether dissipating into sparkles. The soul comes flying in a parabola directly towards Ilia's open arms. Malim miaane. Until a pink blur tackles out of the air it from the side. While somersaulting midair, she tightly hugs the ball of light in her arms while rubbing her cheeks against it. How the fuck Malim could touch a soul is beyond me, but she probably has a skill that can allow that or something. I don't know. Malim ahahaha. Different from that haughty laugh she always makes to sound like an important person but always fails due to her body size, this laugh is filled with genuine happiness and joy. Malim yahoo! She's smiling like it's the happiest moment of her life while screaming out and spinning all over the place in pure euphoria. Ilia lowers her arms with a soft smile before a hand drops on her head. She looks at the hand's owner, finding me looking at Malim with a small, warm smile. Ilia just turns back to Malim while enjoying the slow head pats I give her. Later, Milim calms down and realizes an important factor. Milim, what do we do now? She says while looking at the soul with a curious expression. Ilya just sighs, before explaining. Ilya, well, right now, this child is just a soul. It has completely recovered and I'm stopping it from dissipating or reincarnating naturally. All we need to do is to give it a new body so it can properly revive. Milim, eh? But. She looks at the dissipating pile of ashes and rocks with an oh fuck expression. Ilya, not that one. Milim, phew. Cough. I clear my throat to get the girl's attention and speak out. Rimuru, gee, if only we had someone that could make things from thin air. I speak out with a voice that is louder than normal. Ilya and Milim look at me and then look at each other before looking at me again. Rimuru, like, I dunno, a body. Wink wink. Ilya, Oniai-chan, you can just wink normally, you know? You don't have to say wink out loud. Milim looks back at Ilya, then back at me, before a figurative light bulb goes off in her head. Milim. Oh. Rimuru can make a body Nanota. Rimuru, heh. Ilya asterisk sigh asterisk. Finally, I don't have to sit to the side being useless. And so, I immediately get to making a new body for the soul. Now, yes, I can make the ultimate dragon body and stuff the soul into it, but I decide not to. Instead, I do the exact same thing I did with Shizu. I will make a pseudo-soul vessel. To be completely honest, I could revive Shizu only because I took inspiration from how OG Rimuru revived the dragon soul in canon. And although a super ultimate greatest dragon god body would seem nice, I personally think that letting the soul grow into the body itself would be best, rather than me creating a complete body for him. Ahura Mazda. Appearing in my hands with a flash of light is an egg the size of a soccer ball. This is the pseudo-soul vessel. The body will grow inside the egg to be a perfect fit for the soul and it will hatch when it's ready. Ilya waves her hand as the soul flies from Milim without any resistance, even phasing through her arms. Milim has a face of pure shock and betrayal. Wait, it was Ilya that was letting Milim touch it. Cough. The soul flies towards the egg and sinks into its shell. I hold the egg towards Milim, gesturing her to take it. She slowly glides towards me and takes the egg from my arms. Rimuru, does it have a name? Milim shakes her head. Milim, a name? No, nothing like that. Ah. Gaia. I always wanted to call it Gaia one day. During the time it was alive, Milim probably couldn't name it since she wasn't strong enough as she hadn't evolved into a demon lord yet. Although she was incredibly strong even before that and had a massive magic kills others can only dream to achieve, Gaia was a true dragon or at least a true dragon candidate at the time. Giving it a name would probably have been a kind of distant dream. In any case, as Milim spoke its name, the egg containing the newly named Gaia glowed as it is finally bestowed a name. Now that Milim is much stronger than her past self and Gaia is incredibly weakened, giving it a name is possible. Milim's eyes water as she closes her eyes and gives Ilya and me the brightest smile we have ever seen from her. Milim, thank you Nanota. In any case, everything is over and done with. The Chaos Dragon died and got revived as Gaia, Milim is happy, Ilya is satisfied with her work, and I'm tired as fuck. I'm not actually tired, but this is what any lazy man says when they just want to sit down cause they don't want to do anything anymore. I used this excuse all the time in my old world. Hey son, help me change the lights. I'm tired. Hello, you need to work today, this is the third time you didn't show up this week. Too bad, I'm tired. Oh my god, someone just got stabbed, call an ambulance. Yep, you guessed it, I'm tired. Stabbing someone saps the energy out of you, after all. I'm joking. Rimuru, right, let's go home. I open a portal leading out of the mirror dimension back to my home in Avalon. Ilya, I'm tired. Milim, me too. The two Lolas walk through the portal while stretching and yawning. Unlike me, they seem to be genuinely tired. Ilya had to recover a soul that was soaked in malice and hate for thousands upon thousands of years while Milim went through a roller coaster of emotions. I follow them through the portal and find Milim flopping onto the couch face first with her arms stretched in front of her head, still holding Gaia's egg. Ilya, however. Ilya asterisk sniff asterisk asterisk sniff asterisk. I smell cookies. And so she proceeded to march off in the direction of the kitchen where the smell originated from. I seem to have forgotten that for Ilya, whose mental prowess is among the highest if not the highest in the entire world, recovering a soul that was soaked in negative emotions for thousands of years is a walk in the park for her. Mikoto, Ilya? You're back already. Wait. Don't touch those. Those are for AAH. Don't eat them. I hear Mikoto's panicked voice coming from the kitchen and I can immediately tell that she baked some cookies and Ilya is requisitioning them for herself. I'm jealous. Mikoto comes rushing out of the kitchen, clutching something to her chest. She looks back at the kitchen and then sighs in relief. Rimuru, oh hey Mikoto. Mikoto, Rimuru. She snaps her head in my direction, seemingly a little startled. Rimuru, hi, Rimuru Disu. She quickly hides the thing she was holding to her chest behind her and takes a couple of steps back. Mikoto, what are you doing here? She asks me with a small tremble in her voice and an awkward smile. An embarrassed blush sneaks onto her cheeks. Rimuru, oh, you know, just standing. I can see Mikoto just die inside for my response. Rimuru, so have you finished what you needed to do? I remember Mikoto saying she needed to do something with Shuna so she couldn't join the Chaos Dragon recovery expedition. Mikoto, yeah, something like that. Ahahaha. She nervously laughs while avoiding my eyes. Did I do something? No, she's not angry nor is she ignoring me. Did she do something then? And she doesn't want me to find out. That seems more probable. That still doesn't seem exactly right though. Think, Rimuru, think. If this was an anime, what would this situation be? I'm pretty sure Mikoto likes me, so if she's acting like this, then... Rimuru, oh. I tap my fist into my palm in a eureka moment. Rimuru, you have a gift for me? I mean, this situation is basically screaming something like this, so... Mikoto, wwwhaa. No I don't. And since she's Tsundere, that's practically an upfront admission. Of course, since she's at Tsundere, I can't keep pushing her lest she just runs away, so I have to put on a small act. Rimuru, oh, is that so? I become disheartened and look down with a sad expression. Mikoto, You what I mean is that dash. I hold up my hand to stop her and act all dramatic. I shake my hand while closing my eyes and use my other hand to touch my forehead. Rimuru, It's okay. I understand. It was just a random thought of mine, pay it no heed. I turn around and begin walking away. Through universal sense, I can see Mikoto struggle with something. She opens her mouth before shutting it, looking towards the ground, gritting her teeth, shaking her head and doing that all over again. Eventually, however, she calls out to me. Mikoto, wait, Rimuru. About goddamn time, I'm almost out the door and I was walking so fucking slowly too. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath and opens them again. I turn around and I focus on those strangely alluring tea-colored eyes. She holds out one of the arms she was hiding behind her back. In her hand is a small brown paper bag. The teasing smile I had on my face disappears, replaced with a genuinely curious expression. The bag is small, as I mentioned before. It's only the size of a fully outstretched hand and it seems pretty light too. This genuinely makes me interested. What should she be so hung up about? Mikoto, a lot of things happened. You helped me take care of Accelerator and the sisters back in my old world, and I came over to this world, so we're even on that end, but... not for everything else. I tilt my head. What is she talking about? Mikoto, you helped me get so much stronger. You taught me about this world, you showed me how to use magicules, you gave me my bracelet, you let me stay with you. I get to discover so many things about this world with you too. You gave me a new life in this new world. And I didn't do anything in return. She lowers her head at the end. On her face is a downcast expression. Now that I think about it, I did lots of things for her. But still. Rimuru, I never expected anything in return. I never did. Sure, there was the occasional lap pillow, or Mikoto carrying me around, and a few other things. To me, that makes up for it all. This is why I called myself a simp. Mikoto, I know that. I know you only did everything out of your own volition. So. I'm doing this out of my own volition too. She storms her way forward and grabs my wrist. She then pulls my hand towards her and drops the bag into my open palm before letting go. I look up towards a heavily blushing Mikoto before looking back down at the bag in my hand. Slowly, I open it, and inside are a bunch of neatly packed cookies. I take one out and bite it. Crunch. Rimuru. You made these? My eyes widen in surprise. Mikoto isn't bad at cooking. Her aptitude for cooking is just average. It's just that, well, she's practically never touched an oven in her life. She just doesn't cook. It's not like she hates cooking either, it's just that there's so much good food around her that she would rather eat that than make something that she knows is going to be subpar. Did she learn how to make these with Shuna? Is that why they disappeared together? Mikoto shyly looks down while touching her two fingers together. She looks up at me and nervously asks with a small expecting smile. Mikoto. How is it? Now, I can lie here and say that it's the best cookie in my life, or Rimuru, it's average. Mikoto looks down again, losing her smile. It seems she wasn't expecting that answer. I'm sorry to say, but that's the truth. Just because your crush made it doesn't automatically make all food appetizing. That's just how it is. But it's delicious. Mikoto looks back up at me with a surprised expression. I toss the rest of the cookie into my mouth and smile at her. Rimuru, it's got the spark, you know? Mikoto immediately understands what I'm talking about. I've explained it to her before. I don't know why, but I can feel these sparks in some things. They always appear whenever someone does something wholeheartedly. Hirobe's weapons always have this spark. It causes his weapons to click with their user. Shuna's food also has this spark. Heck, even the targets Soai uses for target practice has this spark. It's not that he made the targets wholeheartedly, it's just that he practices hitting them wholeheartedly. The things I create using Ahura Mazda don't have this spark though, since I never put any effort into making it. The only thing I made that has this spark is Yamato. Still, these sparks are quite rare. They only reliably appear around people close to me. And for Mikoto, this is the first spark I've seen from her aside from her electrical sparks. And that just makes these cookies all the more delicious. Mikoto, I see. Mikoto smiles and fidgets a little. Her face is flushed, but she doesn't notice, nor do I care. However, her tsundere personality reveals itself again as she snaps out of it and crosses her arms in front of her chest as she closes her eyes and turns her head away. Mikoto, don't misunderstand. I just don't like owing people things, so I guess I wouldn't mind making more cookies for you, just every now and then. Typical tsundere. But I still love her for it. Rimuru Umu. I'm looking forward to it. Meanwhile, Ilya is in the kitchen stuffing her face with leftover cookies. Shizu appears from out of nowhere using her bullshit cat powers and joins her. Name, Rimuru. Race, Origin Slime. Protection, Crest of Space. Title, Highest Tier Spirit, Leader of the Monsters, Oniai-chan, King of Avalon, Master of Headpats, Procrastinator King, the Nutcracker. Manus, Iliasviel. Ultimate Skills, Beelzebuth, Lord of Gluttony, Ahura Mazda, Lord of Creation, Scathach, Lord of Runes. Unique Skills, Spatial Ruler. Intrinsic Skills, Infinite Regeneration, Universal Shapeshift, Universal Sense, Enhanced Replication, Universal Thread. Extra Skills, Lord's Ambition, Thought Communication, Control Natural Elements, Control Magic, Control Gravity. Resistances, Cancel Pain, Resist Melee Attack, Cancel Natural Elements, Cancel Ailments, Resist Spiritual Attack, Resist Holy/Demonic Attack. Equipment, Yamato, Raphael, Skill Orb, Limiter Ring. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Wilnet Duverne. Yami Tancho. Ben Phillips. If you liked the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stay here until next time.